Okay, I hope you're ready for part 2 of this super juicy hip mobility workout. You can do this one on its own or go do part 1 first to get even deeper in your hips. This one's gonna look a little bit more like strength training, which is awesome because we want strong legs, but hopefully really functional strength training. You can use an ankle weight for this, you can use a kettlebell, you can use body weight. I'm gonna use this ankle weight. We're going to start with some classic stepping unders and stepping overs. So a stepping under, you're going to take your feet as wide or as narrow as you feel comfortable, and you're going to pretend you're stepping underneath a thing. I don't care what the thing is, whatever works for you. With control, you're going to come back up to standing, and then you're going to reverse and head back under your thing to the other side. From the side, I want you to think about hinging from your hips, hinging at your knees, getting down, and exploring. So there's not much magic to this. This is sort of more about function than technique. You could go for a vertical shin if you want to focus the work more on the back of your body. You could go for everything possible if you want to get as low as you possibly can. It's up to you. If you make this a very wide movement, it will be harder to control. And the control is important because this is where the function comes in. So we want this to be something that you could export to your hiking adventures. And we also want this to be something where you're building control and stability in your hips. So find a width that works for you. I tend to focus more on the hip hinge than the knees, but it can be nice to focus on the knee stuff. You can change your angles of your feet too, so you're not just stepping straight sideways, but you could have one foot kind of back. We're thinking natural movement here, so you can get varied. Let's do one more going the other way. And now we're going to switch to stepping overs. Stepping overs are nice in any direction. So what I mean by that is you can go straight forward, left foot first, right foot follows, and then right foot forward, left foot follows. And you can also go sideways or diagonal. Left foot lifts and over, right foot follows. Whoa, there's obvious loss of control. Back the other way sideways. Right foot over, left foot follows. Let's go forward again. Left foot over, right foot follows. Right foot over, left foot follows. Let's go sideways. Let's think width this time, something wide. So there you're getting a lot of challenge to your control and stability. Wide and forward over. I guess that was wide and side over. Wide and side over the other way. Let's do a couple more forward. Great for your hip flexors. How much can you lift your feet straight in front of your body? Always remembering that you're wanting to truly imagine a thing here. So you can't really lift your trail leg very high if it just goes straight. It almost has to do this kind of hip car thing. So other side, the front leg can go kind of straight and up, but the back leg sort of has to do this hurdle thing, which is great. That's why it's so good for hip mobility. So let's move on to our next thing. Next thing is going to be a Cossack style squat. Now, I'm very mobile here, so you don't need to do what I do, so I'm going to show you some variations. This is just a wide-legged squat where you're focusing on coming down on one side and rotating the other side. So you've taken a wide leg position. You may or may not be holding a thing. Now you're going to lunge towards the left and rotate your right leg out. That's just an axial car on the rotation side. Going towards your right leg, left leg rotates out. Going towards your left leg, right leg rotates out. Now let's talk about some variations. So number one is, what's your knee angle? Are you letting your knee come forward? That's a great thing to do if that feels good for you. If you prefer though, you could go with a vertical shin. Up to you. You're going to just keep working at this, trying to explore. So try a vertical shin on the left, and your right leg does that axial car rotation. Try to keep some sense of squeezing your legs together as you go down as well. Get some inner thigh in there, so let's practice that together. Nice wide legs. I'm going to go a little wider this time because that feels good to me. I'm squeezing my legs together. I'm shooting towards my right leg. I'm rotating my left up, and I'm also tractioning, doing a lot of work on my left, and I'm pressing into the right leg to come back. Tractioning my legs together, moving down towards my left, rotating up. I'm pulling my legs together the whole time here, and then coming back up. All right, those ones are challenging. That's probably plenty of those. You can do more, any width. You can even, I'm going to show you one more, sorry. If you're very mobile here, you can come all the way down, sit down on the ground, pull your legs together, lean forward slightly, come back to standing, all the way down. Control. So it's a one-legged squat. Get up this way, all the way up. Up to you, you can do any variation. Now we're going to do some kickstand RDLs. This is a new kickstand variation. You want to stand about shin distance away from the wall. So you're going to put your one foot on the wall. You might have to adjust a little bit. With or without your weight. What you're going to do next is rotate your belly button towards your standing leg. And then you're going to bend your hips and hinge forward. So my knee's not coming forward here, nor is yours, but you're reaching your weight or your hand towards your toe. And then you're going to stand straight up. You do 10 on this side. So your belly button is rotated, so that's internal rotation. Your knees are pointing straight forward. You're hinging down on your standing leg to reach that one toe. You're standing, and then you're hinging back with your standing leg, hinging forward with your upper body. Your spine stays neutral here, so no rib thrusting. It's just like your double calf stretch, except you're rotated towards your standing leg. You're pressing into the wall with your free knee. I feel like I'm a little too close to the wall here, so I'm going to come away a little bit. And you're hinging down, reaching for that left toe. You don't have to actually get there. And then coming back up. And you should start to feel a lot of work in that working leg here. Hinging down and pressing back up. And my standing knee here, this is a vertical knee exercise, or sorry, a vertical shin exercise. I'm not moving my lower leg. I'm moving my hip, and my hinge is happening. And then I'm coming straight up. My left knee is not diving in towards my midline either. It's really staying still. All that's happening is my thigh and upper bodies, or my upper bodies. It's really hard work. Let's do one more. Whew. So good. Press straight back up. Let's switch sides. As usual, I haven't counted properly. So you're about shin distance away from the wall. Your left foot is pushing into the wall to give you some structure. You can lift and spread all the toes on your standing leg. Rotate your belly button in towards your standing foot. I've got my weight in the opposite hand to my standing leg, and I'm just hinging my hip and bending my knee to take my butt back. This is totally your squat. And then standing back up. Belly button is in, hip is folding, butt is reaching back, upper body is hinging forward, but watch for rib thrust here. It's very easy to get a bunch of rib thrust here. You're pressing your other foot into the ground, coming straight up. I think we've got 7 more of these to go. So you're internally rotating because your belly button is facing your right knee. This is a great way to build internal rotation mobility, which most people are lacking. Then coming up, keeping that belly button in the whole way. It's almost like you're sitting back in a chair. Pressing up. Knee bends. Watching for your neutral spine here. So I don't want you to curve your low back. I don't want you to lift your ribs. My hands are all over my body right now trying to check for that. Pressing back up to standing. Starting to feel that burn in my hip for sure. Sometimes, gotta make this work. All the way down. Pressing back up to standing. Folding of that hip like a Barbie doll. Watch for your rib thrust. Don't let your low back curve. Keeping that sense of internal rotation the whole way. And you're pressing into your foot. Use the back of your leg. You're bringing that back hip forward to meet your knee. Okay, let's do one more. Coming down. And then pressing back up. Whew. Such a juicy routine. Let's finish with a really quick stretch. Holding on to something. I think I'll hold onto the wall. You're going to cross your left knee over your right. You're going to go back into that same hinge position. You're going to keep your knee vertical. Your pelvis is untucked. You're folding at your knee. You're just getting a little passive stretch into that left side hip because why not? Lots of work in the standing leg here too. So nice. Come back up. Right leg crosses over the left. You're sitting back. Exactly the same as what we just did. Just kind of getting deep into those tissues because it feels good, because it feels really nice. And then standing up. You, my friend, are done. Thank you for joining me. I hope you love this sequence as much as I do. Have a great rest of your day.